What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation 2, Cousin Eddie's Island Adventure. So first things first, I'm going to give you all my overall opinion, and to be completely honest, I was not a fan of this movie at all. From start to finish, there was really nothing that I really liked about this movie. Um, yeah, there was just nothing seemed to work for me. It wasn't a great time in my opinion. So yeah, that is, you know, my opinion of the movie, that it's not very good. So there's that, and now that I've given you all my overall thoughts, I'm going to give you all a little plot summary here. So we got Cousin Eddie from the other National Lampoon's vacation movies, and he's kind of down on his luck. He works at this it's like a nuclear testing facility, and he's like a lab rat. He's like a subject. They just like pump him full of nuclear waste, and his coworker is like a chimpanzee. Like they do like the testing mainly on like animals, but he's like the human subject, and that's his job. So he he gets fired because the chimpanzee is smarter than him. Like he loses to the chimpanzee in tic-tac-toe, so he gets fired. They choose to keep the monkey instead, and he's depressed. He's lost countless jobs. His his son in this movie is like extremely smart, and he just doesn't believe in his dad. He thinks his dad's just a total idiot. So there's like kind of a struggle between them where, Cousin Eddie, he wants to, be a good father, and he wants his son to be proud of him, and his son just thinks he's a total dummy. But anyways, Cousin Eddie goes back to this nuclear testing place to try to get his job back, and he gets bit by the chimpanzee. They all think he's gonna sue, but that thought doesn't cross his mind. So they offer him like some like all expense paid Christmas vacation to, I believe it's Hawaii, and then yeah, he's like ecstatic. He's like awesome. Like, and then his son's like, "Why didn't you sue?" But he wasn't even thinking about that, and he's like, "Hey, I got a cool Christmas vacation out of it, so I'll take it." So anyways, the family goes on this vacation. One thing leads to another, and they get like stranded on this island, and the rest of the movie just takes place on the island for the most part. They're trying to survive and kind of still make like a decent Christmas celebration just on this deserted island. So yeah, that's the basic plot summary. Now that I've done, I don't know why I'm always smacking my lips in these videos. That's annoying. Now that I've given you all the little synopsis, I'm gonna get into the actual review here. So one of my like main gripes with this movie is that it's just not funny at all, in my opinion. It for the most part, well, yeah, not for the most part, like it is a comedy. This is supposed to be a comedy, and I don't think there was anything that I really found funny. It was really kind of just like lowbrow, goofy humor, which I I do enjoy sometimes, but this was like, it was just so silly. I like, maybe if you were like a little kid, you would find some of this funny, but it was like watching this as an adult, I couldn't get into the comedy, and a lot, like a good deal of the comedy was just like slapstick, and like Cousin Eddie like like falling off the boat and trying to catch a shark, or like falling onto a wild boar and killing it like to feed the family. Like it was like a lot of like slaps. Like there's this instance early on where he's like trying to run a bath, and every like water spout in the bathroom is just going crazy, and there's water, flying everywhere. Like it's like that kind of like physical slapstick comedy, which I'm a big fan of slapstick. I like slapstick if it's funny and it's done well, but this was it didn't work. It just wasn't funny for me. It was just like, I don't know. It was just like too lowbrow. It was just, I don't know. I feel like they didn't put any thought into the comedy. It was just like generic and not funny. This this is something that I was thinking, like kind of even like early on in the movie. But so I feel like Cousin Eddie in this movie is a lot dumber than he was in the other vacation movies, and he's like so dumb that it's like annoying. And I don't know, just when I turned this movie on, I instantly started thinking of Tropic Thunder, when Robert Downey Jr.'s character is like, yeah, I'm not gonna say the actual word because I don't think I mean I'm not gonna say the full line because I don't think you can say one of the words on YouTube. But if you all have seen the movie, you'll know what I'm saying. I'm not gonna say the word, but like Robert Downey Jr.'s character, he's like, you never go full R word, and that's how I was feeling with this. Like, you can't go too stupid with a character, especially a main character. Like Cousin Eddie, he's funny in the other vacation movies because he is dumb, but he's like more of a believable character. Seems like more like someone who could actually exist. In this, you're just like shaking your head, like, how could an individual that's this stupid like survive this long? Like, how does he have a family? How does he have a roof over his head? Actually, I think he's like staying at someone else's house, but still, like nobody is that dumb. And it was just like it was just like annoying, like how that was like a main, like supposed to be like one of the main comedic elements of the movie, is just like how stupid he is. And it was, they went overboard with how stupid he was. Like, if he does a silly, goofy thing, oh, he's kind of an idiot, like here or there, and he messes up, it's one thing, but like he can't get anything right, and he's not like, it's like, oh, it's not like he's like a lovable idiot, or there's like a little charm to it. Like, it's just like, this guy needs help. He needs to read a effing book or something. Like, this guy needs to go back to school, like something. Like, you can't go too far with like with a character being kind of like a simpleton or an idiot. You can't go too far because then it's just annoying. And that was like a big problem, because in the other movies he was funny, and it wasn't the whole funny thing about his character wasn't just that he was like a little dumb. Like, it was just that he was kind of like a wacky guy. He just kind of did his own thing. Like he was kind of like polar opposite to Clark Griswold. Clark Griswold was, well mannered. He had etiquette. He was just like a normal suburban guy. Cousin Eddie was like almost like Rodney Dangerfield in Caddyshack, where he was just like, he didn't care. He was just like breaking all the rules. He was just like, had no class. Like, that's what was funny about his character, not so much that he's just like this like bumbling idiot. Like, in this movie they made him a complete idiot, and it was just it was like annoying. I was just like, okay, we get it, like whatever. Another thing about this, like, this is pretty much all negatives. I didn't want to rip this movie apart. I thought, I knew it was like a made-for-TV movie, and it's kind of a spin-off, and it doesn't really have anything to do with the first one. Like, I knew that going in. I didn't have crazy high expectations. I thought, maybe this will be like a, fun little movie, but this movie was trash, dude. there's like all this green screen stuff, and like for the most part it seems like a lot of the movie took place on a sound stage, which is fine because this is like a made for TV movie, it's low budget. But I'm thinking, you know, why did they set out to make this like big scale movie where it's like set on an island and they have these sequences on the ocean on a boat? Like, why did they make this movie so big scale? So, you know, if they knew like the budgetary restrictions, like there's this sequence when they're on a boat, like the whole backdrop, all the water is green screen, and there's this like CGI shark, and then even like the island, it just looks like a soundstage, which is fine. Like a lot of movies use sound stages, but like the whole movie just has this cheap look. Of course, it's expensive to like shoot on location. I didn't expect that, but they could have done like a little bit on location if they didn't. If like they wrote the movie a little bit different, where it's like maybe it doesn't have to take place on some island in Hawaii. It could be some other like wacky vacation. I don't know. I just the whole green screen thing, like a lot of this movie was green screen and soundstage, and it just took me out of it. It was just like it looked so cheap, man. It was just, I mean, I like a lot of low budget movies, but it kind of bugged me a little bit. I'm like, why would they try to do this big set piece? Like, just you could have done like a way smaller scale movie, and it would have totally been fine. We don't need to see all these crazy sequences like out on the water, out on these great big islands. But I guess that is the whole premise of the movie. So like that's the movie they wanted to make. So whatever. And then the last thing that I have here is that yeah, this movie does not feel like Christmas. That didn't really bother me that much because there was like it does take place around Christmas, and the beginning has more of a Christmas feel, and it is a Christmas movie, but it doesn't have that Christmas feel, if that makes sense. I mean, part of it's just due to the setting, which I knew going in, it's like they're going on some island vacation, so I didn't expect it to have that much of like Christmas. What am I talking about? That much Christmas atmosphere. I didn't expect it to have that much, but it didn't feel like Christmas. So if you're going into this and you're looking, you know, for like a Christmas movie, this really doesn't feel like a Christmas movie. You know, of course, like the first one definitely feels like a Christmas movie. This one just feels like kind of like a lame comedy that takes place on an island, and they just like sprinkle a couple like winks and nods to Christmas throughout. That's it. It's got a little Christmas seasoning, but it's like it's not like a main Christmas dish, if that makes sense how I'm describing it. But yeah, that was the last thing I wanted to say for like the full-on review. I'm gonna get into my recommendation here, and then I'm gonna head out. So yeah, I would not recommend this movie at all. If you're a fan of the first one and you're curious, like I was like, oh, you know, maybe the sequel there's a little bit of fun to be had. There's really no fun to be had. It's not funny, and like even for a made-for-TV movie, like this was like way weaker than, like I like a lot of made-for-TV movies, but this was just a weak movie straight up. So yeah, don't watch this movie. If you're curious, yeah, don't even bother. Watch something else. But yeah, that's my recommendation. So I'm gonna head out here, and I just want to thank you all very much for watching, and that's it for my review. So peace out.